We are live from Joliet, Illinois, home of the University of St. Francis Fighting Saints. We got softball coming your way today in a big CCAC matchup as the Saints take on the Tigers of Olivet Nazarene University, the top two teams in the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference this season. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Terry Bonadonna on the call today as the Saints try to pick up a couple of big victories. They're out on the field right now getting loose for today's game. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two squads. First for Olivet, their leadoff hitter is catcher Sarah Beers. Kelly Rinker hits second, playing second base. Emily Karstens is the number 3 batter and pitcher. Hitting cleanup is the first baseman Samantha Alberto. Batting fifth, shortstop Allie Davis. The right fielder is Miranda Southall. Batting seventh, Alyssa Pusateri. She plays center. Hitting eighth, McKenna Emerson. Emerson is at third base. And batting ninth, left fielder Felicia Wakesi. For the Fighting Saints, it's Anna Wetherill leading off, playing center field. Brooke Carricker bats second and plays second. Allie Belandis is the catcher. Kayla Garcia hits cleanup at designated player. Jensen Torzinski is the number 5 batter and first baseman. Ashley Gallison plays shortstop. Hitting seventh, left fielder Haley Lent as the first pitch of the game comes in, taken for strike one. We're underway at 5:04 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Last couple of hitters for the Saints today, Caitlin Rolniak at third base, and batting ninth, right fielder Paige Egan. Popped up foul behind home plate and out of play. It's 0-2 on Sarah Beers. The leadoff batter against the veteran right-hander for the Fighting Saints, Morgan Derringer, a senior, who is starting for the 16th time this season. Her 0-2 offering comes in low for a ball, 1-2 on Beers. Derringer, in her 15 starts, has completed 14 games. She's been removed only one time all season. She's also made 5 relief appearances and has a couple of saves. Followed by Beers. Count remains 1-2. Derringer this season has thrown 109 1/3 innings and allowed just 33 runs, 25 of them earned on 86 hits. She's got 33 walks and a conference-leading 141 strikeouts this season, but she surrenders a hit to the first batter today as Beers knocks one out to left field, a leadoff single. Good start for the Olivet offense. Sarah Beers is aboard, freshman catcher, ahead of Kelly Rinker. This is a potent attack possessed by Olivet Nazarene. They're batting above 300 as a team. Their average overall 308 this season, and Rinker better than that on her own. She takes a ball high, 1-0. Kelly Rinker, 453 this year, the conference's leading hitter. She's got 12 doubles, 23 runs batted in, which is tied for second on the team. And she takes a ball high from Morgan Derringer. It's a very quick 2-ball, no-strike count. Derringer trying to avoid any early trouble. Olivet's got their ace pitcher on the rubber on the other side as well. There's ball 3 high. In fact, by the numbers, the top 2 pitchers in the conference going head-to-head here with Derringer and Karstens. So an early run would be huge for Olivet. And they've got 2 base runners now as Rinker takes ball 4 high. A rare 4-pitch walk issued by Morgan Derringer. And there are 2 on the bases with nobody out for the aforementioned pitcher, Emily Karstens. Karstens, a .310 hitter, 4 homers, 17 RBIs, and she takes a strike. So that snaps a string of 4 misses in a row from Derringer, who is an excellent control pitcher. Doesn't walk all that many. That was her 34th this season in 109 innings. That ball flown out to center field. Easy play for Anna Wetherill. She makes the catch, and that's a big first out as Karstens is retired. The fact that it was a 4-pitch walk to the number 2 hitter was a surprise. Derringer let the first 2 batters on base, but there's a big first out. And now Alberto stands in. Derringer 2 outs away from getting out of this first inning jam. Samantha Alberto, right-handed hitting first baseman, takes the first pitch well high. That's ball 1. Alberto is a .268 hitter with 23 runs batted in. Second on the team in RBIs despite not being one of the better hitters by average or by power. Ball high, 2-0, but she's got a prime spot in the batting order here, batting 4th. and comes up frequently with runners on base, as she does here. First and second, one out, and there's a strike called. 2-1 on Alberto. Beers singled on a 1-2 pitch, slapped it the other way for a leadoff hit, and then Rinker walked on 4 pitches. There's a swing and a miss at the high heat. It's 2-2. Those 2 base runners remain in position with Beers at second, Rinker at first. 1 out now. 2-2 count on Alberto. Derringer trying to set down her second straight, and she misses up and in for ball 3. So now a big full count pitch coming up. Derringer can't afford to give up the walk and load the bases here, but a hit could score a run. So dangerous 3-2 pitch. Allie Davis stands on deck. Here's the payoff. Swung on and missed, strike 3. A big strikeout from Morgan Derringer, number 142 for the season. She averages better than 9 per 7 innings. And she goes 7 innings in just about all of her starts. She's got a big first one here in this game. 2 outs, 2 on. And the first pitch to Davis is in there for a strike. Allie Davis batting .326 this year, so Derringer is far from out of the woods. With 2 runners on base and nobody out, Olivet has been unable to score so far. A fly out and a strikeout. And now 0-1 on Davis, who takes a ball outside to even the count. Beers at second, Rinker at first. Olivet looking to jump early on Morgan Derringer, who's coming off of one of her less effective starts this year. Strike called 1-2. In a game that Saints didn't need her to pitch well. They scored 16 against Judson last week and cruised to a 9-run win. Ball high, 2-2. But for the most part, Derringer, she can't pitch the way she did against Judson on Friday and get a win more often than not. So trying to get back on track today. 1 strike away from ending the inning. High fly ball out to right center field. Anna Weatherall tracks it over. The center fielder puts the squeeze on it for out number 3. The inning is over. Olivet Nazarene gets their first 2 runners on, but they don't score. Derringer sets down 3 in a row, and we head to the bottom of the first in a scoreless tie. Heading into the bottom of the first inning here, we have no score. Saints dodged a bullet in the top of the first inning as Olivet Nazarene had 2 runners on with nobody out. Morgan Derringer was able to buckle down and get 3 in a row to end that threat. And now her offense will try to back her up. Anna Weatherall, Brooke Carricker, Ali Belandis set to hit this inning. Garcia, Torzinski, Gallison, Length, Rolniak, and Egan make up the rest of the lineup. Facing Olivet ace Emily Karstens. First pitch to Anna Weatherall comes in for strike 1. Wetherell leading things off with a .379 batting average for the season. And she takes a strike from Karstens, 0-2. Emily Karstens this season has been spectacular through 15 total games, including 13 starts. She's 12-1 with a 1.71 ERA. There's a roller foul to the left side. 0-2 still. Karstens in 94 innings has allowed 34 runs, 23 of them earned on 76 hits. She has struck out 69. She's walked 25. And you can tell with those strikeout numbers, not quite as dominant as Derringer. As far as blowing at by hitters go, there's a blooper down the left field line. It'll drop just inside the line. A base hit for Anna Wetherell. Got that one off the edge of the bat and just poked it right where she needed to on the left side of the field. Leadoff single. So both teams have their aces out there, and both opponents have come up with leadoff single here in the first inning. Again, Karstens 69 strikeouts in 94 innings. Not necessarily as dominant as Derringer, but she's allowed only a .208 opponent's average. So she may pitch to contact, but she doesn't give up a lot of hits as Carricker takes ball one low. Brooke Carricker aiming to bunt here. But she took the first pitch out of the zone. Carricker, senior second baseman, hitting .368. 4 homers, 19 RBIs. She's got 8 doubles on the season, but looking to sacrifice herself this time around. She drops the bunt down, but it's foul for a strike, and the count is even. Amanda Jensen, a big proponent of small ball, especially with Morgan Derringer out there, because in those Derringer pitched games, 1 or 2 runs is usually enough. Carricker this season does have 1 sacrifice. Trying to come up with number 2 right here with a 1-1 count. It's Wetherell at first base. Here's the pitch from Karstens. Taken for a strike. It's 1-2. Carricker again showed bunt on that pitch. That time she did not offer at it. Pulled the bat back and took one in the zone. And now she's in a 1-2 hole and may not have the option of bunting anymore. She is not looking to bunt with 2 strikes, and she takes the ball upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brooke Carricker. Another big hitting senior, Allie Belanda, stands on deck. Hoping to do some damage here in the first inning against Emily Karstens. Carricker swings and smacks it right back to the pitcher. Karstens makes the grab and throws it to first for out number 2. Double play, 1-3. And some bad luck there for Carricker and St. Francis. And it's just a funny game sometimes. Wetherell barely got her bat on the ball, just popped it up down the left field line, put it in the right spot between Felicia Wakasey and McKenna Emerson. She ended up on first base. Brooke Carricker scalded that ball right back up the middle. And had the misfortune of having Karstens right there in the way to make the catch as Allie Belandis takes ball 1 low. There's been 1 softly hit ball, that was a hit, and 1 hard hit ball, and that turned into a double play. 2 outs, bases empty. 1-0 to Belandis is over the inside corner for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Allie Belandis, a .392 batter with 12 extra base hits, 20 RBIs. One to the Saints catcher is popped up, foul to the right side, over towards the dugout of St. Francis, and it'll go over all their heads and well out of play. Samantha Alberto gave it a good run, but ran out of room, so she heads back to her position at first base, and Belandis steps back into the batter's box, behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trying to keep the inning alive here with nobody on. Belandis takes low. 2-2. Kayla Garcia will bat next, if indeed we get to her here in the first. Karstens prepares for the 2-2. Ball 3, and the count goes full. Belandis, a very patient hitter. Having another patient at bat right here. She has struck out only 5 times this year. She's drawn 4 walks as she bounces that down the third base line. keep the count where it is, 3-2. Blandis working the count here, and a good first inning at bat. We've seen 6 pitches thus far. Wetherell led off the inning with a single, but Brooke Carricker lined sharply back up the middle where the ball was caught by the pitcher Karstens, who threw to first, doubling up Wetherell. Another 3-2, another foul ball. Blandis will see an 8th pitch in this at-bat. Good work by Saints All-Conference catcher. Allie Blandis came in with a .412 on-base percentage, .577 slugging average. That number second on the team to only Kayla Garcia, who is on deck, hoping for a chance to drive Blandis in. Another 3 here. Fly ball deep left field. That ball back towards the fence, and that is going to stay in the play as it lands just in front of the fence. Felicia Wakayski went swirling around after it, and it came up just short of the ball. Drops in for a Blandis double. Double number 10 this season for Allie Blandis. She walloped that ball out to left. Hung up in the air a long time. Didn't carry as much as she would like for it to have. Just missed going out of the yard for her 4th home run of the season. But it does keep the inning alive for Kayla Garcia. Garcia, a .440 hitter. Trying to pick up her 27th RBI of the year. And Garcia takes strike 1. Well, Casey seemed to have misjudged that ball a little bit. Kind of turned the wrong way, turned over the wrong shoulder. Garcia grounds it foul to the third base side. It's quickly 0-2. It looked initially like it might clear the fence. It came up just short of that. And well, Casey not quite able to get back on it in enough time to make the grab. So Blandis is in scoring position. Next pitch to Garcia, swung on and missed, strike 3. Saints get a pair of hits, but they don't score in the bottom of the first. Blandis stranded at second. We'll head to the second inning. No score here in Joliet. Both teams had their chances in the first inning, but both teams came up empty. So here we are in the second, no score. Olivet Nazarene up to bat. Southall, Pusateri, and Emerson to swing the sticks against Morgan Derringer, who fires strike 1 on Miranda Southall. Southall, right fielder. She's a sophomore from Wilmington, Illinois. Hitting .315 this season. She takes a strike, and the count is 0-2. 10 doubles, 3 homers, 27 RBIs this year for Southall. She's got the most runs batted in on the team this year. Ball just below the knees, 1-2. First 2 batters reached for Olivet in the first inning, a single and a walk. But Derringer settled in. She retired the next 3, didn't give up any runs. Ball high, 2-2. Saints caught a couple of unlucky breaks in the bottom of the first inning. They had 2 hits, a couple of hard hit balls. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Second strikeout for Derringer. Southall goes down swinging, 1 down. Some hard hit balls from the Saints in the bottom of the first, and they ended up with nothing thanks to a double play. And the double play was one of the harder hit balls of the inning. Line drive right up the middle. It was snagged by Karstens. Ball 1 on Pusateri. Alyssa Pusateri, the center fielder for the Tigers. Fouls it back. Count is 1-1. Pusateri, a junior. 278 hitter. 13 runs batted in. She's got an impressive 380 on base percentage, and trying to reach base here to start a little 1-out rally in the top of the second. She takes the ball. The count now 2-1. Olivet in their gray uniform tops with purple pants. Saints in brown tops, white pants as the home team today. Strike called, 2-2. St. Francis has lost only 1 home game so far this season. They're 7-1 here at the Harlow Lockwood Fields at the Inwood Sports Complex, and there's strike 3 called. Pusateri frozen, goes down looking. Third strikeout for Derringer. She's gotten 3 of the last 4 hitters, and she's now retired 5 in a row overall. That brings up McKenna Emerson. She swings at the first pitch and lines it into center field. Hits the lip of that center field grass and kicks right over to Anna Wetherell, plays it on a hop. Sends it back to the infield following a single for McKenna Emerson. For Emerson, the 13th, make that the 23rd hit this season. And she is aboard, preventing the 1-2-3 inning. Here's Felicia Wakesi. 350 average, albeit in only 18 games on the year. Wakesi takes the ball outside. She is 14 for 40. 7 RBIs and 10 runs scored on the year. Batting with a runner at first base and 2 outs. She takes a strike. McKenna Emerson's base hit prevented a 1-2-3 inning for Morgan Derringer. Snapped a string of 5 in a row, retired. Now the 1-1. In there for a strike, 1-2. Well, Casey is the number 9 hitter. She is able to reach base. We go right back to the top of the order, and Sarah Beers. Popped up, shallow right field. Egan comes charging on, tries to make the shoestring catch, but she can't pull it in. It drops for a base hit. Emerson heads around second and into third base, and they're at the corners following back-to-back 2-out singles. Nice job by Felicia Wakesi. Derringer was ahead of her 1-2. Just popped it into shallow right field and got it down just in front of Egan, who made the charge for it. Now Derringer, for the second straight inning, is in some trouble. She's got to get through Beers to end the inning. Sarah Beers takes the ball, runner goes, and no throw down to second base. So a steal for Felicia Wakesi. And now 2 in scoring position with a 1-0 count on Beers. Sarah Beers singled her first time up, one of 3 early hits for the Tigers. There's a ball high, 2-0. She popped it out to left field and was able to drop it in front of Haley Lent. Ball high, 3-0. So 2 of the 3 hits so far for Olivet Nazarene have not been hit hard, but have found the right spots on the field. McKenna Emerson's single to start this potential rally was the difference. A hard line drive to center. Strike called on Beers, 3-1. Derringer does have 1 walk today, but she doesn't want to issue her second here. Conference's leading hitter is on deck. She would come up with the bases loaded. That's fouled behind home plate by Beers, 3-2 the count. Back-to-back strikeouts began the inning. Looked like it was going to be easy work for Derringer. It has proved not to be that. 3-2 popped up on the infield. Ashley Gallison, Caitlin Rolniak, both there. It's Rolniak, the third baseman, making the catch. The inning comes to a close. Olivet gets back-to-back two-out hits, but they leave him at second and third and don't score. So we'll head to the bottom of the inning. 0-0. No score after an inning and a half, and the Saints will try to change that with Jensen Torzinski, Ashley Gallison, and Haley Length. Saints had a couple of hits in the first inning, but no runs. Anna Weatherall led off with a single, but was doubled off of first base, and then Allie Belandis stroked the double out to deep left, just missed leaving the yard. She was stranded at second. Jensen Torzinski swings at the first pitch of the inning and rolls it over to second base. Kelly Rinker's toss to first is on time for out number one. Torzinski, a quick out. Here's Ashley Gallison. Good start for Emily Karstens in that she hasn't allowed a run through an inning and a third, but again, she's been hit fairly hard. Pitcher who is not hit often. 208 opponent's average this year. Ball one low on Ashley Gallison. Emily Karstens has allowed an opponent's average of 208. Morgan Derringer of the Saints has allowed opponents to hit just 213 off of her. So it's probably a fair guess that hits are going to be hard to come by in this first game. There's a grounder to short. Allie Davis can't field it cleanly. Gallison is aboard on the air. Karstens thought that she had back-to-back groundouts right there. And on the first three pitches of the inning, Gallison rolled one weakly over to the shortstop. Looked like a routine play for Davis, but she booted it. And the Saints will try to take advantage of the mistake. Gallison, who does have one stolen base this year, is aboard. And looking potentially for a bunt from Haley Length. Length squares up early, pulls the bat back, swings and grounds it to second. Rinker shovels it to first, 2 down. Gallison does advance to second base, but with 2 outs now for Caitlin Rolniak. Rolniak is a .250 hitter in 27 games started this year. She does have 13 RBIs, but it looks like she may not bat for herself here. And Jensen has a quick talk with the umpire, and we're going to make a change here for the Fighting Saints. A big early moment again. Top 2 pitchers in the conference going head-to-head here. 1 run for either side is going to be a huge deal anytime you have the potential to get it. So the Saints aren't playing around here. They're going to bring up their top pinch batter early. With a runner at second, 2 down, it's Lena Mito. Mito's hitting .273 in 22 pinch hit appearances this year. 6 hits and 22 at-bats. He takes strike 1. Mito has driven in 6 runs. She usually comes up with runners on base, rarely used in situations where the Saints don't have somebody in scoring position. So 6 hits, 6 RBIs. No big surprise there. All 6 of her hits have been singles. Well, Gallison running from second base. A base hit could easily score a run. She'll be going on contact. Check swing foul. And the count is 0-2. Karsten's looking for a quick inning. She got the first 2 outs on just 4 pitches, including a base runner in that stretch on an error. Could have been a 4-pitch inning had it not been for the misplay at short. 0-2 on Mito. Karsten's trying to finish her off and get back to the dugout. Mito takes the ball high. Actually, Karsten's is due to hit second next inning. She wouldn't be going straight back to the dugout. She'd be going back to the on-deck circle. Gallison at second with 2 down, 1-2 on Mito. Saints looking for the first run of the game. Fouled away. Good at bat so far for Mito. Trying to finish it off with a base hit. Paige Egan waits on deck if Mito can keep the inning going. Karsten's ready to go. Here's another 1-2. Outside for a ball. The count evens up. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mito. Senior, who has only appeared this year as a pinch hitter. She can catch if need be, but Allie Belandis is the regular starter at catcher. There's ball 3. The count is full. A walk would keep the inning alive for Egan, and if Paige Egan comes up, there's a chance we could see another pinch hitter in that spot. We'll cross that bridge, I suppose, when we get to it. 3-2. Mito takes strike 3, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and a runner left. Saints have left a couple in scoring position, as have the Tigers. We'll head to the third. No score. Out of the order to up for Olivet in the top of the third inning. It's Rinker, Karstens, and Alberto facing Morgan Derringer, whose first pitch is fired in for strike 1. Through 2 innings, no score. Not a huge surprise based on the pitching matchup of today's game, but it's been a little bit surprising how we've gotten to this point. That ball is popped up left side of the infield. Gallison is there. She makes the grab for the first out. A lot of base runners in the first 2 innings. In fact, both teams have had at least 1 runner in scoring position in each inning. Olivet's left 4 runners on base, 3 of them in scoring position. Saints have left 2 runners on, and both of them have been in scoring position. Strike called on Karstens, 0-1. Emily Karstens is, of course, the great pitcher for Olivet. Not too bad with the bat either. She fouls it back 0-2. Hitting .310 with 4 home runs this year. But she flew out to center field with 2 on base in the first. She's 0-for-1 in the game. The 0-2 is hit in the air on the infield. Right side, right down the line. Jensen Torzinski hugs that line and stays just on the fair side of it as she makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down in the third. 3 straight retired by Derringer. Remember, she retired 5 in a row up until there were 2 outs in the second inning. Looked like she was going to cruise to a 1-2-3 frame. Back-to-back hits put runners at second and third before she finally got Sarah Beers to pop out and end it. Strike one called here on Samantha Alberto. Alberto struck out swinging, one of 3 early game strikeouts for Morgan Derringer. Ball outside, 1-1. Derringer is looking for the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for either side. And she's now just 1 strike away. A ball and 2 strikes. Derringer delivers the next pitch low for a ball. 2-2 is the count. St. Francis, the number 19 team in the country, to play today at 21-6 for the season. Ball high, 3-2. They've got just 1 blemish on their conference slate back on April 8th, right here against Cardinal Stritch. They fell in 2 of a doubleheader, 11-3. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. 4th strikeout for Derringer, first perfect inning of the game for either pitcher. And we'll move into the bottom of the 3rd. St. Francis looking to break a scoreless tie. Strong start for the pitchers today. No score after 2.5. Paige Egan leads things off for the Fighting Saints. St. Francis has had 3 base runners in the first 2 innings. No runs. Strike one called on Egan. Paige Egan's batting .244 this year. 11 hits and 44 at-bats. Or rather 45 at-bats. Ball low. Count evens at 1-1. 10 of her 11 hits have been singles. She does have 1 triple on the season. She's the number 9 hitter, so we're back to the top of the order after this leadoff at bat. Egan grounds at third base side foul, 1-2. And Wetherell Brooke Carricker due to foul. If anybody reaches, it'll be Allie Belandis batting against Emily Karstens. Starting her 14th game. Like Morgan Derringer, she's only been removed once. Derringer's got 15 starts, 14 complete games this season. Fouled away, still 1-2. Karstens has started 13 games, 12 of them have gone complete. She has shut out her opponents twice this season. Derringer coming off the year last season in which she had 10 shutouts. Has finished with 4 of them this year. Blooper to short and an easy catch for Allie Davis, out number 1. Soft line out. Retires the first batter this inning. And now it's back to the top of the order and Anna Wetherell. Wetherell is 1 for 1. She blooped a single out to left field on an 0-2 pitch in the first inning. Batting for a second time, she foul tips the first offering for strike 1. 3 straight Saints have been retired. First time today that Karstens has accomplished that. Trying to make it 4 in a row for the first time. And then after that, she'd like to match Morgan Derringer with her first Perfect frame. Strike called 0-2. Derringer's 1-2-3 top of the third was the first of the game. There's a ball low and away. 1-2 on Anna Wetherell. Senior transfer entered play today hitting .379. And only third best on the team. That's how good the offense for St. Francis has been up and down the lineup this year. 1-2 is fouled off to the left. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Karstens ready for the next one. Fouled off. Wetherell just barely got a piece of that one. She generally does a good job of keeping at-bats alive. Not easy at all to put away. She has struck out 6 times this season. She's extended a lot of at-bats. Brawl with the count still 1-. Foul tipped. Wetherell out in front of that one, but just barely able to get the bat on the ball and get a little piece of it to stay alive. It's a good piece of 2-strike hitting in the first inning that allowed her to reach base. There's the ball high, 2-2. With an 0-2 count after a foul ball in that first inning, she was able to protect the plate, just make enough contact to loft it down the left field line for a hit. This time it's rolled down the first base line, foul. 9 pitches so far in the sequence. Still 2-2 on Anna Wetherell. 1 out, nobody on base, and a scoreless tie. It's the bottom of the third inning. Wetherell finally goes down swinging. Good work by Emily Karstens, just blew it by her that time. After Wetherell was getting closer and closer to timing up the off-speed stuff, Karstens blew a heater by her. 2 outs in the inning for Brooke Carricker. Carricker is 0 for 1, but she hit the ball hard her first time up. Smoking a liner right back to the pitcher, Karstens, who caught it, threw back to first for a double play. Strike 1 called on Carricker. Carricker takes the ball to even the count. Tigers are the only undefeated team remaining in conference play. 10-0 this year in the CCAC. Trying to turn that record into 11-0 in this game and 12-0 by the end of the day. Carricker grounds it right side. Nice grab by Kelly Rinker. Second baseman tosses over to first and ends the inning. It is the first 1-2-3 frame for the Olivet pitcher. We'll head into the fourth. We are scoreless. We're in the top of the fourth inning, and we haven't seen any runs score yet. 0-0. St. Francis and Olivet Nazarene. Both teams have their best pitcher going, and it showed in the early going. Ball 1 on Allie Davis as we begin the top of the fourth. Olivet did have a runner reach third base in the second inning. but that came with 2 outs. Their best scoring chance probably came in the first. Davis smacks one foul to the right side, 1-1. In the first inning, they had their first 2 batters reach base, a single and a walk. They were at first and second with nobody out. And the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up, but Derringer retired all 3 of them, including Allie Davis, who flew out to center field to end that inning. Now it's 1-on-1 on her as she leads off this inning and takes the slow ball for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes on Davis, who will be followed by Miranda Southall and Alyssa Pusateri. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5th strikeout for Morgan Derringer, one of the leaders in the country. It's funny, some of the Saints have put up some gaudy numbers, most notably Morgan Derringer pitching and Kayla Garcia on offense. But in a lot of cases, they don't necessarily rank among the national leaders, as Miranda Southall takes ball 1. Southall's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. St. Francis is 19th overall in the nation this year with their the teams in the CCAC. And a lot of other teams around as well. Ball low, 3-0 on Southall. St. Francis has seemingly had more games postponed than they've had actually played on schedule. Strike called, 3-1. And that's a feeling that Olivet Nazarene knows all too well. They've had just as many games postponed or canceled. Strike call, 3-2. But because of the sparsity of their games, some of these players who have put up great numbers aren't necessarily on the national registry. As that ball's fouled away to the right side, still 3-2. In case of Morgan Derringer, you'd have to look more at some of the average numbers. Top 40 nationally in both ERA and strikeouts per 7 innings, or strikeouts per game. And that's another stat that's a little misleading. 3-2, check swing foul. Strikeouts per game is not necessarily a fair statistic to use on a player like Morgan Derringer, simply because she pitches out of the bullpen quite a lot. 5 relief appearances this year. So you have to look more at her per innings averages as opposed to per game. She's not always out there as long. Fouled off to the right side and out of play. It's long at bat for Miranda Southall continues. She'll see a 9th pitch. One out, nobody on base. Southall takes strike 3. After a hard-fought sequence in which she fouled off the straight 2-strike pitches, Derringer finally gets her. That was after starting Southall off 3-0. She found the zone on 6 consecutive pitches, and she strikes Southall out looking. Second time she's gotten Southall today. And now it's Pusateri swinging at the first pitch and flipping it over to the shortstop. Gallison puts it away and ends the top half of the 4th. 7 straight set down by Morgan Derringer. We're halfway through this thing, but no score. Allie Belandis, Kayla Garcia, Jensen Torzinski do up for the Fighting Saints of St. Francis in the bottom of the 4th inning as they try to break a scoreless tie against Olivet Nazarene. Double out to deep left field. Just missed leaving the park. She takes the ball up and away, 2-0. She ended up getting stuck on second base in that inning. She's the only one on either team, though, with an extra base hit so far in this game. 2-0. Ground ball, third base side, and just foul. 2-1. St. Francis has won their last 5 games consecutively. 2 against St. Xavier, 2 against Indiana South Bend, and 1 at Judson. Game 2 of that doubleheader was postponed. Saints took the first one 16-7 last week. Ball 3 on Belandis, trying to work her way on base as the leadoff batter here in the 4th. A tough loss about a week and a half ago against Cardinal Stritch. Strike 2 called, it's full. It was a rare blowout defeat, something that really hasn't happened to them all year. Hadn't anyway up until that date. 11-3 loss. That was in game 2 of a doubleheader. And that snapped a 7-game winning streak. So they've won 12 of their last 13 overall after starting the year 9-5. Ground ball left side and between the shortstop and third baseman in the left field. A hit for Belandis. She's 2 for 2, and she's got 2 of the team's 3 hits. Snap streak of 5 straight retired by Emily Karstens. Here's Kayla Garcia. Garcia's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, one of 3 Ks on the score sheet under Emily Karstens' name right now. She has struck out 1 in each of the first 3 innings. Garcia came up at a key moment in the bottom of the 1st with a runner at second base and 2 outs. That was a big strikeout for Karstens at the time. A big time to get one right here as well. Garcia takes ball 1 high. Olivet Nazarene a little bit better in terms of the hot streak than St. Francis. They've won their last 8 games in a row, and they're 10-0 in conference. Ball 2 low on Garcia. This figures to be the premier doubleheader all season in the CCAC. Garcia flies one out to deep left field with Casey back on that. She has room and makes the catch. Belandis forced to retreat to first base. Well, Casey, remember back in the 1st inning on that Belandis fly ball, was a little bit fooled. Turned herself around on it and the ball dropped just behind her. This time she was playing a deep left field with Garcia standing in there. And so she had a much easier time getting back on it and making the grab. So Garcia is the first out, Belandis back to first base, and Jensen Torzinski is the hitter. There's strike 1 called on Jensen Torzinski. You have to go back almost a full month to see the last time Olivet Nazarene lost a game. It was on March 23rd. Since then, they've had 8 wins and 14 postponements. Foul tipped, 0-2. So had they gotten a chance to play all of their games, they could have considerably more than 8 consecutive wins. And again, maybe they would have lost one along the way. The same can be said about the Saints in either direction. Torzinski hits it high in the air down the right field line. Charging into foul territory to make the catch is Miranda Southall, and she does get there in time to put Torzinski away. So after the leadoff single, back-to-back outs. Now it's up to Ashley Gallison. Gallison is 0 for 1. She reached on an error her first time up. We have no score in the bottom of the 4th. Saints have had 4 base runners in this game. Single for Weatherall, 2 hits for Belandis, and Gallison reaching on the air in the 2nd. She takes strike 1. Coming into today, St. Francis 21-6, Olivet 23-8. Both teams have 10 conference wins. In fact, these 2 teams are at least 2.5 games ahead of St. Ambrose, who sits third in the conference right now. Ball low, 1-2 on Gallison. So these have been without question the two best teams in the CCAC so far this year. And this doubleheader has already had to be postponed twice, so it's nice that they're finally able to get it in today. Ground ball to short, another chance for Davis. This time she fields it cleanly and retires her counterpart Gallison to end the inning. Leadoff single for the Saints goes nowhere, and we head to the fifth. St. Francis nothing, Olivet nothing. We played 4, 3 innings left on the slate for this game 1, and we've got no score. McKenna Emerson tries to change that against Morgan Derringer with a powerful first cut, but she fouls it straight back for strike 1. Emerson singled back in the second inning, stranded at third base. She's the only player on either team to make it that far so far in this game. It was a 2-out base hit. Back-to-back singles in that second from Emerson and Wakasey. Ball 1 on Emerson. Count is even, 1-1. Morgan Derringer's retired 7 consecutive batters. Ball high. 2-1 now. Derringer had set down 5 in a row prior to the back-to-back singles to Emerson and Wakasey in the second inning. Popped foul and out of play. And the count is 2-2. Another foul ball back behind home plate. Both of, or I should say all of Olivet's base runners have come in groups of 2. Beers and Rinker to begin the game, and then Emerson and Wakasey with 2 outs in the second. Back to back both times. Ball low, the count goes full. Just 1 walk in the game so far from Derringer. It was the second batter of the evening. Now a ground ball on 3-2 right at Brooke Carricker. The second baseman flips underhand over to first. 1 down. So the first ground out recorded by Morgan Derringer today. Previous 12 outs had all been either on strikes or in the air. So 8 straight set down. Last batter to reach was Felicia Wakasey, who singled and stole a bag in the second inning. She bats with 1 out, nobody on in the fifth rather, and takes a strike. Wakasey is a sophomore outfielder, hitting .350 this season. She picked up her 15th hit of the year earlier this evening. Strike called, 0-2. Two quick strikes from Derringer. Can she put her away? She's got at least 1 strikeout in every inning so far. This ball's popped up foul territory. Belandis watches it go out of play. 6 strikeouts overall in the game so far for Morgan Derringer. She's up to 147 for the year. Trying to pick up number 148 this season on Felicia Wakasey, who's behind 0-2. Casey has struck out 3 times this year in 41 at-bats. And there's the 4th time. She goes down looking. 3rd batter to do that today for the Tigers. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. 9 in a row set down by Derringer, and she's got 4 strikeouts during that time. Not only that, but of those 9 batters, not a single one has reached the outfield. Sarah Beers swings to the first one. She grounds it past Caitlin Rolniak for a hit. Rolniak was pinched in, guarding against the bunt from Sarah Beers. And the ball slapped right past her on the ground. So here's Kelly Rinker with a runner at first base and 2 outs. 9 in a row retired by Derringer, now snapped. She'll try to start a new streak here against Rinker. He takes ball 1 high. Left-handed hitting second baseman takes the ball. It's 2-0. Kelly Rinker with her .453 batting average is best in the CCAC so far this season. She takes the strike. It's 2-1. Hitless so far in this game, but she has been on base once. That single from Sarah Beers is just the 4th hit of the game for Olivet, 2nd of which has come from Beers. Strike called. 2-2. In fact, the 2 catchers in this game, Sarah Beers and Allie Belandis, have gone a combined 4 for 5 at the plate. Little tapper right back to the pitcher. Derringer fires to first, and the inning is over. Not a perfect inning this time, but no runs either. 1 hit and a runner left at first sends us to the bottom of the 5th with no score. Starting to get late in this game as we move into the bottom of the 5th inning. Still no score between St. Francis and Olivet Nazarene. Haley Lent, Caitlin Rolniak, Paige Egan are due up to hit this inning against Emily Karstens, who has been on a roll. She's retired 8 of the last 9 batters. And she fires ball 1 low to Haley Lent. Lent is 0 for 1. She grounded out to second base in the 2nd inning. Strike called, 1-1. St. Francis has just 3 hits in today's game. 2 of them came back in the 1st inning. Ground ball up the middle, off the glove of Karstens, picked up by the shortstop Davis, who fires to first a step ahead of Lent for the out. First batter retired on the ground. Karstens has gotten a lot of ground balls, and she's been able to rely on her infield defense, which for the most part has been very good. Davis committed one error back in the second, but other than that, no mistakes. Here's Caitlin Rolniak batting for the first time. Ball one bounces in. Rolniak was due up with a runner at second base and 2 outs back in the second inning. They elected to take her out and pinch hit with Lena Mito. Fouled away. 1-1. Mito struck out looking to end that second inning. And then Rolniak was back in the lineup to play third base the following inning. Ball high, 2-1. Hitters count here with 1 out and nobody on base. Rolniak trying to start a 5th inning rally for the Fighting Saints. Ball 3. And it's 3-1. Paige Egan waits on deck. Rolniak trying to work her way on base any way she can. A 3-1 pitch from Karstens. Over the inside corner for strike 2. Karstens ready to go. Here's the payoff pitch. Ball 4, just missed the zone, a little bit high, and Rolniak is aboard, a leadoff walk. First one of those issued all day by Emily Karstens. Karstens had just 25 walks in 94 innings at the start of play today. There's number 26 in 98 and a third innings. And it brings Paige Egan up with the go-ahead run on base and 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Big moment here for St. Francis. And with that in mind, Amanda Jensen calls Egan over to talk. Paige is 0 for 1 today. She lines softly to the shortstop, leading off the 3rd inning. First pitch, Karstens to Egan. She is bunting, and it's foul. Saints would love to get Rolniak into scoring position. The top of their order is due up next. Anna Weatherall's had a nice day at the plate. Trying to get her on with a runner in scoring position. Ball high. 1-1. Rolniak walked. First walk issued by Karstens. Bunted, third base side. Picked up cleanly by McKenna Emerson. Her throw to first is in time. It's a successful sacrifice for Paige Egan. And the Saints have a runner in scoring position for the first time since the second inning. Nicely done by Egan. Egan does not get credited with an at-bat for that sacrifice bunt. Rolniak in scoring position. And Anna Weatherall can give the Saints the lead with a hit. Weatherall is 1 for 2. She poked a single out to left field to lead off the bottom of the 1st inning and then struck out swinging in the 3rd. Karstens in just a little bit of trouble here. Foul back, strike 1. Game is still at the plate here. If Karstens can retire Weatherall, it would be the 3rd out of the inning. She wouldn't have to worry about Rolniak at all anymore. But getting late in this one, in a tie ball game, this could be the best scoring chance the Saints get the rest of the way. So it's a big moment as Weatherall pops it foul off to the left. It's 0-2. St. Francis has had a grand total of 5 base runners today. 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 error. Similar to the numbers for Olivet, they've had 5 base runners. 4 hits and 1 walk. Oh, 0-2 on the senior Weatherall. Ball low. 1-2. Olivet's got their 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up in the top of the 6th inning. Wetherell tries to check her swing, but she can't. She went around for strike 3. Second time that Karstens has gotten her on strikes today, and the Saints are not able to score. They leave a runner at second base, and we'll head into the 6th. 0-0. Emily Karstens leads off the 6th inning for the Tigers and pops up the first pitch, foul territory right side. Easy catch for Jensen Torzinski. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 6th, and a nice start to the inning for Morgan Derringer. Derringer is rolling through 5 innings. She's allowed only 4 hits so far, all of them singles. And she had retired 10 of the last 11 coming into the inning. Now make it 11 of 12, and there's another pop-up. Foul ground. Will this stay in play? Yes, it will. Kaylin Rolniak right up against the fence is able to make the grab. 2 pitches into the inning. We've had 2 foul pop-ups, opposite sides of the field, but 2 outs. Samantha Alberto is retired, and a nice start to this inning for Morgan Derringer. Let's see if she can get Allie Davis quickly and move into the bottom of the 6th, and hope her team can back her up on offense. Allie Davis takes the first pitch of the inning. It's a strike. Count is 0-1, 2 outs, nobody on. Just 3 pitches into this top of the 6th. Here's the 0-1. Davis rips it foul. It's 0-2. Allie Davis flew out to center field to end the threat of the first inning. She struck out swinging to begin the 4th inning. She's looking for her first hit of the ball game here. 0-2 from Derringer. Lined out to center field, a base hit. That's just what Olivet needed, after it looked like it was going to be a very quick inning for Morgan Derringer. On an 0-2 pitch, Davis smacks it to center field, and there's very few things the pitchers hate more than allowing hits on 0-2 counts. Here's Miranda Southall, 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. 0-1 high. That's the 5th hit of the game for Olivet Nazarene. They've all been singles. 4 of the 5 have come with 2 outs in an inning. That's one way to limit the damage. Popped up foul. This will get out of play in a hurry. It's 1-1. Derringer has been awfully good in this game, but she hasn't been perfect. She has helped herself out, though, by retiring the leadoff batter in all but 1 inning. 2-1 on Miranda Southall. When you're not getting base runners on until there are already 2 outs, there's not a whole lot you can do with those runners unless you keep piling on the hits, and so far they haven't been able to today. Popped up in a foul ground. Torzinski bobbles it, and she's not able to come up with it. Or did she come up with it? Half the team is running off the field. The Saints are arguing that she was able to catch that ball on the fly. It was a pop-up on the first base side, foul ground. Torzinski reached her glove up. It hit her glove cleanly. She had a chance to make the grab right up against the fence, but it popped out of the glove, and after juggling it, I think she did come down with the ball. The question is, did it hit the fence? Because the second that it did, it would have been a dead ball. The home plate umpire indicated that it did hit the fence and is a dead ball. Saints are arguing that it never did, but after the umpires confer, both men agree that if it didn't hit the fence, they couldn't tell that conclusively. So the count is 2-2 on Miranda Southall, and the inning continues for at least one more pitch. Southall trying to keep a 2-out rally going for the Tigers. Foul back, still 2-2. Runner at first base. We've got no score in the top of the 6th inning. Derringer potentially just 4 outs away from another complete game, but she beat her offense to score first. Ground ball to second. Carricker tosses the first inning over. 2-out single for Allie Davis is the sum total of the Olivet offense in the 6th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. St. Francis will try to solve Emily Karstens in just a moment. Tied up 0-0. Bottom of the 6th, we are tied, 0-0. So this might be the Saints' best chance to get to Emily Karstens. With their 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up. Brooke Carricker, Allie Belandis, Kayla Garcia, trying to get a run and give Derringer a chance to close it up in the 7th. Fouled back by Carricker for strike 1. Brooks 0 for 2 today, but she hit the ball hard her first time up, and she lined out to the pitcher. Grounded out to second base in the 3rd inning. There have not been a lot of hard hit balls today against Emily Karstens. That ball blooped out to right field, taking a step back and making the catch is Miranda Southall. 1 up, 1 down. Like I said, there have not been very many hard hit balls, but a couple of them have come from Allie Belandis, who stands in right now. She's 2 for 2. Doubled out to deep left. And hit a single on the ground to the left side, her last time up. She had gotten that first inning ball just a little bit harder. We could be looking at the Saints just 3 outs from victory right now. Just missed a home run. Ball high, 1-0. Another cold day in Joliet. Sun is shining right now, and the playing conditions have actually been pretty good throughout this game. Belandis shoots another hard one on the ground. This time a backhanded stop by Emerson. The third baseman throws to first for the 2nd out. Nice play by McKenna Emerson. Another ball that was really hit well by Belandis. She's seeing the ball extremely well today, and nobody else has against Emily Karstens. Kayla Garcia's 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the first. She flew out to left field in the 4th inning. Ball 1 high. Garcia, a .440 hitter on the season. Does not often go hitless in a game. This could be her last at bat in this one. Strike call. 1-1. She entered play today with an on-base percentage of .561. So she's a good bet to get on base at least once in every game, but so far 0 for 2 in this one. That ball hit sky high, fouled to the left side and over the light fixture out of play. 1-2. Karsten's one strike away from ending the sixth. Karsten's looking for another 1-2-3 inning. Low and in, 2-2. She's only had one other perfect inning in the game today. That was back in the third. Other than that, the Saints have had one base runner at least in the first, second, fourth, and fifth. Haven't been able to do anything with them though. Next pitch bounces in, it's 3-2. They've had three different base runners reach scoring position in the game today, but nobody's gotten as far as third base. Only one player has for Olivet way back in the second inning. Payoff pitch to Garcia. That ball drilled out to left field and over the head of Wakasi, off the wall. Garcia trying for two. Here comes the throw, and Kayla Garcia is safe at second base. No tag. Not sure if Callie Rinker didn't have control of the ball or if she just missed on the tag on Garcia, but that throw had her beaten by a mile. And Garcia somehow able to slide in safely with a big two-out double. That's the 10th two-bagger this season for Garcia. And now the go-ahead run is at second base with two outs. And that go-ahead runner is not going to be Kayla Garcia. We're calling a pinch runner here. And it'll be Rachel Andretti. So Rachel Andretti, the runner at second base, and if Jensen Torzinski can come up with a hit, Andretti, who will be running on contact, could very well come in to score the go-ahead run. Torzinski 0 for 2 in the game. She grounded out to second base in the second inning, flew out to right field in the fourth. Torzinski takes ball one in the dirt. A big stop there by Sarah Beers. It nearly got by her. It would have allowed Andretti to reach third base. As it is, 1-0 on Torzinski. Andretti at second. No score in the bottom of the sixth with two outs here. Torzinski takes a big swing and fouls it for strike one. Kayla Garcia double is the second extra base hit of the game for St. Francis. It's just the fourth hit overall. It's now the fourth runner that the Saints have had in scoring position in the game. Swing and a miss. Torzinski way out in front of that one. It's 1-2. Similar to Olivet, when the Saints have gotten their hits, they've often come with two outs in the inning. They haven't been able to take full advantage. And they won't here either as Torzinski strikes out swinging. Nice inning for Karstens. Gave up the deep fly to Garcia, but she pitches around the trouble with two outs in the inning, a strikeout on Jensen Torzinski, and we will head to the seventh inning with no score. Alyssa Pusateri leads off the 7th and takes ball 1 high from Morgan Derringer. Got a stalemate so far, 6 innings in. No runs have scored for either team. We were certainly expecting a pitcher's duel today. We have gotten that and more. Ball high, 2-0. Morgan Derringer was the conference leader with a 1.60 ERA entering play today. Emily Karsten's right on her heels at 1.71. Strike called, 2-1. Pusateri's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a lineout. Both teams desperately seeking a run here in the 7th, trying to steal a win. Ball high, 3-1. Both sides, though, do have the bottom of their orders batting here in the last inning. 7, 8, 9 for Olivet. The Saints in the bottom of the inning will have their 6, 7, and 8 batters due up. Pusateri fouls it back. Count is full. Morgan Derringer does have 1 walk today. The second batter of the game drew a free pass. Hasn't issued any since then. She's got 7 strikeouts today, but hasn't gotten one since she got Felicia Wakasey looking back in the 5th. There's a fly ball out to left center field. Anna Weatherall moves over, calls off Haley Length, and makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down in the 7th. It's the 6th consecutive inning in which Derringer has retired the leadoff batter. McKenna Emerson is 1 for 2. She singled back in the 2nd inning. In fact, she singled 2 outs and nobody on. That ball's fouled away for strike 1. Looked like it was going to be a quick inning for Derringer. Emerson ended up singling. Wakasey singled after that. And Wakasey's base hit advanced Emerson all the way to 3rd base. Hallowed ground in this game. Ball in the dirt, 1-1. We're 6 innings into this game, and still to this point, Emerson is the only player on either team to make it as far as 3rd base. Ball inside, 2-1. It's rare enough to see a game that's a double shutout into the 7th inning, but to have only had 1 batter reach 3rd base is amazing. This game has been really well pitched. There's a grounder to short. Gallison throws to first, 2 down. Back-to-back outs recorded here in the 7th. And Felicia Wakasey is the only thing standing between Morgan Derringer and the dugout. Wakasey is 1 for 2 with a single. She struck out looking her last time up. She swings at the first pitch here and hits it high in the air, left side foul. Rolniak is out of room. So Wakasey's still alive, strike 1. Ashley Gallison, Haley Length, Caitlin Rolniak due up in the bottom of the 7th for St. Francis. There's a fly ball to center. Weatherall is right there, and she makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers in the 7th, the 3rd perfect inning of the game for Morgan Derringer. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Saints looking for a win, trying to avoid extra innings. Tigers just trying to get to extras. We're scoreless. Bottom of the 7th inning, Ashley Gallison leads it off for the Fighting Saints, trying to break a scoreless tie. Gallison swings the first pitch and foul tips it. Ashley Gallison 0 for 2. She has grounded to the shortstop twice. Once the play was made, once it wasn't. She reached on an error back in the 2nd. She wouldn't mind that right now, or a hit or a walk, any way to get on. Strike 2 called. There haven't been a ton of base runners in this game, although not maybe as few as you would expect in a game that has been as well pitched as this. Saints have been set down in order only once. Gallison fouls it back. They've had at least one base runner in the first, second, fourth, fifth, and sixth innings, but only in the first did they have more than one base runner, and even in that inning, not at the same time. Fouled back. Still 0-2. Going back to that first inning, Anna Weatherall had a single. Brooke Carricker hit a hard line drive that unfortunately turned into a double play. Allie Belandis drilled a double out to left field. Gallison hits it hard but foul to the left, just outside the line. So they didn't score, but they had a couple of hits and another hard hit ball that turned into an out. And it looked like they were on top of Emily Karstens early. And that maybe they were going to be able to get some early runs off of her, but Karstens settled in quickly. Has not really been threatened ever since. Slow roller right back to the pitcher. Karstens throws to first, one away. Here is Haley Lent. She's 0 for 2, a ground out to second and 1 to short. Both these pitchers, of course, very capable of shutting down their opponents. Haley Lent way out in front of the first pitch for strike 1. Karstens has 2 shutouts this season. Derringer has 4. They're looking to both pick one up here today, although somebody's going to have to give up a run eventually for the game to end. Ball inside, 1-1. But Karstens now 2 outs away from making it a double shutout through 7 innings. Grounded foul, 1-2. Haley Lent this season hitting .296. 5 doubles, a triple, 14 runs batted in. Trying to find her way on base here. Karstens looking to put her away, the 1-2. Strike 3 called. Second out of the inning. 5th strikeout of the game for Emily Karstens. Things don't get any easier after Karstens. In fact, you look at Olivet and St. Francis, both teams have been so good this year, but the one place that Olivet really does have an advantage is the depth they have on their pitching staff. Kaylin Rolniak takes ball 1 in the dirt. Rolniak walked her first time up. This is the only walk issued in this game by Emily Karstens. One would imagine the game 2 pitcher for Olivet today will be Jamie Kiefer, who's 4-2 with a 2.42 ERA. When you look up and down her stat sheet, the numbers are just as good, if not better, in most categories than Karstens. Fly ball to right field. Routine play for Southall. She puts it away and ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the Saints in the 7th. Just the second perfect inning for Emily Karstens today. Both pitchers perfect in the 7th, and that means we've got extra innings coming your way. On our way to the 8th, we're scoreless. Top of the 8th inning. Saints are in extras for the second time in this conference season. They were able to come away with a 9-inning, 3-2 victory against Cardinal Stritch back on April 8th. Today they carry a 0-0 score into the 8th inning against Olivet Nazarene. Sarah Beers takes strike one. Beers is 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Ball one high, the count is even. As a team today, the Tigers have just 5 hits. Beers has 40% of them. Trying to reach base to lead off the 8th inning. She takes a strike, 1-2, looking to bunt that last one. That's what got her second hit. Good bunter. Caitlin Rolniak had to come in to guard against it, and she slapped it right past Rolniak. And this time she slaps it over the head of the shortstop, Ashley Gallison. Beers is 3 for 4. So she's got exactly half of her team's 6 hits now. And the leadoff runner is on for the first time since the first inning. In fact, this is the first time since the first inning that Olivet has had a base runner with fewer than 2 outs. And how big is it to get somebody on in front of Kelly Rinker, the conference's leading batter? She slaps it to the left side. Backhanded stop by Gallison, but no play at first base. An infield single for Rinker. Back-to-back hits, and the Tigers have a chance here in the 8th. 2 on, nobody out, and Emily Karstens is coming up. And this is the exact spot that Olivet was in the first inning. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and Karstens coming up. Karstens swings to the first pitch and fouls it away for strike one. In that first inning, Derringer was able to roll through the 3, 4, and 5 hitters and get out of it without allowing a run. She'll have to do that again. She tries to keep the game scoreless heading into the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 now on Karstens. She has flown out to center once and popped out to first twice. She pops this ball up to the right side, and Torzinski will not have a chance to make the catch on this ball as it sails into the seats. 1-2. Strikeout would be nice for Derringer here. Looking for the first out of the inning. Any out. It doesn't allow the base runners to advance. Ground ball to third, foul. Derringer is the best strikeout pitcher in the conference. She's got 7 of them today, but after picking up at least 1 in each of the first 5 innings, she has not gotten any of her most recent 7 outs on strikes. She could use one right here. Strike 3 called, took something off of it, and Karstens was completely frozen. Huge first out. That brings up Samantha Alberto. 8th strikeout of the game for the senior right-hander Morgan Derringer. And now Alberto will try to advance and or score these runners. Swing and a miss, strike 1. High fastball that time, and Alberto well late on the swing. She has struck out twice in the game. Most recently, she popped out to third base. Strike called, it's 0-2. Derringer 1 strike away from a huge second out. Not on this pitch. She misses outside, 1-2. Paige Egan, Anna Wetherill, Brooke Carricker due up for the Fighting Saints in the bottom of the 8th. So they've got some good bats coming up, just trying to get there with a tie score. Popped up left side foul. Rolniak reaches over, can't make the play. Just a little bit late for Caitlin Rolniak that time. The ball had just a little bit more airtime on it. I think Rolniak had put herself in position to make the grab. She just didn't quite get there fast enough. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Game 1 of a doubleheader on a chilly evening in Joliet. Ball high, 2-2. Weather conditions haven't been bad for this first game because the sun has been out, making it feel a little bit warmer, but the sun is starting to set now. It'll be gone by early in that second game. Ball just off the outside corner, and the count goes full. Once the sun sets, temperature should be down into the 30s, so it's going to be a cold one for game 2. Derringer trying to help her team finish off game 1. Fouled out of play. Still 3-2. Alberto trying to work her way on base. She was very quickly behind in the count, 0-2. But has put together a fine at bat. A walk would load the bases with only 1 out for Allie Davis. Strike 3 called. Got her on the same pitch that froze Emily Karstens. Back-to-back strikeouts. And there are 2 outs here in the 8th. Couple of huge Ks for Morgan Derringer, leaving Beers and Rinker for the time being at first and second base, and it's all up to Allie Davis to try to get these runs in. Davis takes ball 1 high. Beers singled. Rinker followed up with an infield base hit, putting him at first and second, nobody out. Just the second time, or I should say the third time, that the Tigers have had multiple base runners on today. Strike called, 1-1. First time it's happened since the second inning. Olivet now has 7 hits in the game, all of them singles. And they've got 2 on base right now as Davis fouls it straight back, 1-2. I talked about those opportunities that the Tigers had in the first 2 innings. I mentioned how much they might rue not being able to score in either spot because 1 run may win this game. And now it's looking like a near surety that 1 run will win the game. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Morgan Derringer sets him down. 3 strikeouts in a row with the go-ahead run standing over at second base. Fantastic work that inning from Derringer, keeping the game scoreless. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The Saints will try to win it. No score. Still no score in the bottom of the 8th inning. Paige Egan will try to change that as she tries to get herself on base. Saints haven't had the leadoff runner on since the first inning. Ball 1 low on Egan. Make that since the 4th inning. It's happened twice in the game total. Egan is 0 for 1 with a line out. Dropped down a sacrifice bunt her last time up. She slaps the ball foul to the left side, and the count is even, 1-1. Olivet Nazarene had one of their better scoring chances all game. In the top half of this 8th inning, they put runners at first and second with nobody out thanks to back-to-back singles. Morgan Derringer struck out the next 3 batters consecutively. Ball low, 2-1. Following Egan, Anna Wetherill, Brooke Carricker. If anybody reaches, Allie Belandis. And if anybody scores, the game is over. Egan on 2-1, smacks it to the right side where it's caught on the fly by Kelly Rinker. 1 away. 5 straight set down by Emily Karstens. That matches a game high of consecutive hitters retired for her. She's coming off of a 1-2-3 7th inning. She's only had 2 perfect innings today. There have been base runners for both sides. Anna Weatherall rolls it weakly to the shortstop. Davis throws to first, 2 down. Karsten seems to be getting stronger as the game goes on. She set down the last 6 with 2 strikeouts scattered in there as well. There's Brooke Carricker. 0 for 3. She's hit the ball pretty well a couple of times, but has nothing to show for it. Hits this ball pretty well, but foul for strike 1. If we move into the 9th inning, the Tigers will have Southall, Pusateri, and Emerson batting against Morgan Derringer. Oh, 0-1 on Carricker. Over the inside corner for a strike. Carricker pops it up, foul territory, right side, not a play. Emily Karstens 1 strike away from putting an end to this inning. She does not want to have to face Allie Belandis, who is the only player on either team really who's consistently hit the ball hard. Carricker strikes out swinging. Another 1-2-3 frame for Karstens. She's gotten 7 in a row. And we're moving into the 9th. Scoreless in Joliet. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Miranda Southall, Ashley Pusateri, and McKenna Emerson due up for the Tigers. Southall takes strike 1. Miranda Southall 0 for 3 today. She has struck out twice. She's grounded out to second base. One of many Tigers without a lot of success on the stat sheet against Morgan Derringer tonight. Southall takes a strike at 0-2. Derringer has struck out 3 consecutive batters. In the 8th inning, she got Karstens, Alberto, and Davis, all with 2 runners on base. Ball low, 1-2. She got the first 2 batters looking, and then she got Davis swinging. She's got 10 strikeouts now in the game. Ball high, 2-2. Olivet Nazarene has had 3 decent scoring chances today. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Derringer. 1 down in the 9th. In the 1st, 2nd, and 8th innings, the Tigers have put 2 runners on, but have not been able to come up with the clutch hit. Back in the 2nd inning, McKenna Emerson, who's on deck right now, made it as far as third base, and still, as we sit here in the 9th inning, Emerson is the only player on either team to make it to third base. As that ball's popped up in a foul ground, Carricker tracks it down but can't make the grab. Carricker came up just a little bit short, trying to run that ball down, and it's strike 1 on Pusateri, who is 0 for 3 today. Olivet has had 3 different innings with multiple base runners. The Saints have never had one. Back in the 1st, they came up with 2 hits, but there was a double play in between, so they never had multiple base runners at the same time. Ball outside, 1-1 on Pusateri, the number 7 hitter in the lineup. Ball high, 2-1. Game 1 of a doubleheader, and a huge doubleheader for these two teams, trying to take control of the CCAC standings. Strike over the inside corner. It's 2-2. Both sides have a pretty healthy lead over St. Ambrose. And if either of these teams can come up with a sweep today, there's a fly ball out to left center field. It's fairly deep, but Haley Lent is on it the whole way. She makes the running grab for out number 2. If either of these teams is able to come up with a sweep, that first place team will have a good distance between first and third. Really just been these two teams jockeying for position for first place in the conference. Line of the right field. A base hit from McKenna Emerson, her second knock of the game. She is a 2-out base runner. Outside of the first and 8th innings, every base runner that Olivet has had today has come with 2 outs, and no exception here in the 9th, as Felicia Wakasey stands in. Wakasey is 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen base. She takes ball 1. Worth noting that neither one of these teams has actually played against St. Ambrose this year, so Ambrose still has something to say about who's going to be winning this conference. Popped up, foul ground on the infield. Third baseman Caitlin Rolniak is there to make the catch, and the inning is over. Tigers can't score in the 9th. Can the Saints? They'll have the heart of the order coming up, 3, 4, and 5, due to bat in the bottom of the 9th inning, a scoreless tie. We're in the bottom of the 9th and still scoreless. This might be the best chance the Saints have to win the game, though. Belandis, Garcia, and Torzinski due up. Allie Belandis, in particular, has had some good at-bats against Emily Karstens today. She's 2 for 3 with a single and a double. And the one time she was retired, she hit the ball hard, but right at the third baseman. This time, Belandis pops up the first pitch foul for strike 1. Karstens has gotten stronger as this game has gone on. She has retired 7 consecutive batters with 3 strikeouts in that stretch, and has kept this game scoreless. Belandis pops that ball up shallow right, backing up to make the catch is the second baseman Kelly Rinker. 1 up, 1 down in the 9th. Neither one of these pitchers has blinked here in game 1, and it makes things interesting going forward for game 2. Taylor Bars is really the only other pitcher that the Saints have used this year, and she's been up and down. Derringer of late has been known to go both ends of a doubleheader. And even if Derringer doesn't start game 2, she usually comes in at some point during it. So we don't know how much longer she can go and still be effective in game 2, whereas Olivet uses a couple of other pitchers. They've got Jamie Kiefer and Emily Struble, who have both been good this year. Heather Wiltshire has given them some quality innings as well. So they've got a few more options in game 2. Ava Garcia takes strike 1. Garcia struck out and flew out in her first 2 at-bats. Had a double out to deep left her last time up. Swing and a miss. It's strike 2. And she's in a hole here in this at-bat. Garcia trying to reach base in front of Jensen Torzinski. 1 out, nobody on. 8 in a row set down by Karstens. Make it 9 straight. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Karstens is dominant right now. She has set down the last 9 hitters with 4 strikeouts. And she's now looking for her 3rd consecutive 1-2-3 inning after she had just 1 perfect frame among her first 6. Jensen Torzinski is 0 for 3. She's grounded out, she's flown out, she has struck out, and here she hits a foul tip for strike 1. Top of the 10th would be the top of the order for Olivet. Beers, Rinker, and Karstens due up. So a big out for Karstens right here if she can get it. The team be in good position next inning offensively. Torzinski swings and misses for strike 2. Not likely either of these pitchers is going to come out of the game. Both Derringer and Karstens have only been removed 1 time each in many of their starts this year. Torzinski pops it up, shallow right. Rinker going back, and she makes the catch. She misjudged it initially, turned towards the second base side of the field, and then at the last instant adjusted her body and somehow maintained her balance as she turned back to her left and made the grab. The inning is over, and the Saints are again retired 1-2-3. We move to the 10th, no score. Top of the order for the Olivet Nazarene Tigers as we start the 10th inning here. No score. Morgan Derringer against Emily Karstens. Both pitchers have been fabulous. Derringer's first pitch is taken for a strike, and Sarah Beers. Tigers have 8 hits total in the game today. Of those 8, all of them have been singles. Beers pops it up behind first base. Torzinski trying to make an over-the-shoulder grab, but can't quite pull it in. Nice effort, but it's just going to be strike 2. And Beers is still alive. Of those 8 Olivet hits, 3 of them belong to the woman in the batter's box right now. Sarah Beers is 3 for 4 with 3 singles. Trying to reach base to begin this inning, but behind in the count 0-2. She smacks it right to the first baseman. Torzinski makes the catch on the line for out number 1. Nice start to the 10th inning for Derringer. She retires the leadoff batter for the 8th time in 10 innings this evening. Here's Kelly Rinker taking strike 1. Rinker is 1 for 3. She has singled and walked. Morgan Derringer, the reigning CCAC Pitcher of the Week, an award she's won 4 times this year. Ball 1 on Rinker, 1-1. Derringer delivers the next pitch, taken for a strike. 1 out, nobody on base. Ground ball right back to Derringer. She gloves it on a hop and flips it underhand to first base, 2 down. Derringer trying to pitch her 10th scoreless inning of the game and set up her offense in the bottom of the 10th inning. It'll be Gallison, Lent, and Rolniak due up against Emily Karstens, who has been every bit as good as Morgan Derringer has tonight. There is strike 1 call. Karstens is the batter. She's 0 for 4, struck out her last time up. 11 strikeouts in the game now for Morgan Derringer. Ball 1 low. Derringer's retired 8 of the last 9 batters she's faced, giving up just a single with 2 outs in the 9th to McKenna Emerson to break up the stretch. Popped up foul to the right side and out of play. And the Tigers are down to their final strike of the inning. One, 2. Foul back. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. At this point, you're almost waiting for one of these teams to make a mistake because it doesn't seem like either pitcher is going to give in at any point. It might be just a fluke play that ends up giving the team an opportunity to score a run as Karstens takes a ball low, 2-2. There's only been 1 runner on either side to make it as far as third base in the game. Way back in the 2nd inning. There's a high fly hit by Karstens into shallow left. Lent comes in and drops the ball. So with 2 outs, the Tigers get a base runner on Haley Lent's error. I think that last step she took was a little bit awkward because she was moving from the outfield grass on the infield dirt. And maybe just unsure of that one final step as the ball popped out of her glove. First error committed by a St. Francis defender in this game. Now it's Samantha Alberto taking strike 1. Alberto is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. That error gives Olivet their 10th base runner of the game. Ball high, 1-1. They've got 8 hits, all of them singles, 1 walk, and 1 error. St. Francis has had only 6 base runners in the game, none since the 6th inning. This is a high fly to left. This one is foul, though. And it's well out of play. 1-2. Derringer has Alberto where she wants her. She's already struck her out 3 times today and now ahead in the count, 1-2. Looking for strikeout number 12 in the game and looking to send this game into the bottom of the 10th inning scoreless. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ball 2 to even the count. It's Emily Karstens over at first base as the 2-2 pitch to Alberto misses up high. Ball 3. They will appeal, and she did not swing. So the count goes full. Derringer has had quite a few full counts today, but she hasn't walked anybody since the 1st inning. Trying to keep that streak going. Alberto fouls it away. Alberto, in fact, has had a full count in 4 of her 5 at-bats. She went down swinging on a 3-2 pitch in the 1st and again in the 3rd. Struck out looking at a 3-2 pitch her last time up, and here she looks at ball 4 high. So 2 are on base with 2 outs for Allie Davis. Davis has struck out twice. She's 1 for 4. She singled back in the 6th inning, and she bats now with the go-ahead run at second base. Just the 2nd walk issued by Derringer today. She misses up high on Davis, 1-0. 11 strikeouts, 2 walks. Olivet's got a runner in scoring position once again. They had 2 on back in the 8th as well. Strike called on Davis, 1-1. In fact, Davis was the batter with 2 outs and 2 on in the 8th inning, and Derringer struck her out. Trying to do the same right here. Any out will do. Swing and a miss, 1-2. So once again, Morgan Derringer is 1 strike away from getting out of the 10th inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back. It's still 1-2. If Davis reaches, Miranda Southall will bat next. A hit could give Olivet their first lead of the game. The pitcher, Emily Karstens, reached on an error with 2 out. She stands over at second right now. Ball high, 2-2. So Karstens represents the go-ahead run. She'll be off and running on anything that Davis puts in play. 2-2. Swing and a miss, and the inning is over. Strikeout number 12 for Morgan Derringer. The walk, the air do not come back to haunt the Fighting Saints. We'll head to the bottom of the 10th inning. No score. It's the bottom of inning number 10, and we've got no runs on the board. St. Francis trying to win this thing in the bottom of the 10th with Ashley Gallison, Haley Lent, and Caitlin Rolniak due to bat against Emily Karstens. First pitch of the inning is taken downstairs by Gallison, 1-0. Karstens has retired the last 10 batters she's faced, including Gallison on a ground out during that stretch. Ashley's 0 for 3 today. Ground ball to third. Nice backhanded stab by Emerson. She fires across the diamond and gets the out. Second time we've seen that from McKenna Emerson on a hard hit ball down the line. She made a good backhanded play to retire Belandis back in the 6th inning, and this time Gallison in the 10th. 11 straight set down by Karstens. Haley Lent is 0 for 3. She swings to the first pitch and skies it out to right field. Southall comes in, she makes the grab, and on just 3 pitches, we've got 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th. Karstens has been a little bit more efficient today than Derringer has. And a big part of that is she hasn't allowed any base runners since Akela Garcia 2-out double back in the 6th. Through the first 6 innings, Karstens, for as good as she was, only had 1 perfect frame. But she's looking for her 4th straight right here as Caitlin Rolniak takes strike 1. Rolniak, as usual, sporting the short sleeves today, and as usual, the only one doing so on another cold night in Joliet. Temperature creeping down towards 40. Should be under 40 by the start of game 2. Ball 1. That was even on Rolniak. 0 for 1 with a flyout. The only walk of the game issued by Karstens was to Rolniak in the 5th. Saints have 4 hits, 2 of them doubles, 2 of them singles. Ball low, 2-1. They've had 1 walk and they've had 1 batter reach on an error, so just 6 total base runners through 9 2/3 innings. There's a ball high, and it's 3-1 on Rolniak. She's been patient in there. Karstens has gotten ahead of just about everybody, but having some trouble with Caitlin Rolniak here. Walked her back in the 5th, and now behind in the count 3-1. And Rolniak takes a strike over the outside corner. It's 3-2. And Rolniak is second on the team, having drawn 12 walks this season, putting her on base percentage right up around 400, despite a batting average of 250. Foul tipped. Pitch coming a little bit high. Rolniak not able to back off with the swing. Just got it off the inside of the bat, and it continues at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another 3-2. Rolniak strikes out swinging, and the inning is over. Another 1-2-3 frame for Karstens. That's 4 in a row. She set down the last 13 Fighting Saint hitters. We're going to move into the 11th. Still no score. We're in the top of the 11th inning. No score between the University of St. Francis and Olivet Nazarene University. Olivet comes up in the 11th with their 6, 7, and 8 batters. Miranda Southall. He has struck out 3 times and also grounded out to second base once. Ball low, 1-1 the count. Derringer's faced a little bit more trouble in this game than Karstens has, but not by a significant amount. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Tigers offense has 8 hits, 2 walks. Saints offense 4 hits, 1 walk. Each team has had 1 batter reach on an error. Ball high, 2-2. So the Tigers. Last inning, they were given an opportunity as it looked like it was going to be a 1-2-3 frame. 2 outs and nobody on. A fly ball to left field was dropped by Haley Lind. That foul ball keeps the count at 2-2. So the inning stayed alive and continued further when Samantha Alberto drew a walk. But they ended up leaving runners at first and second base. Strike 3 called, and Southall goes down looking for out number 1 in the 11th inning. Olivet has left 11 runners on base through 10 innings, but only one of them has been at third. Ball inside, and it grazed her. Pusateri is hit by the first pitch from Derringer. She takes first base. Just barely nicked her, but it's enough to put her on board. The go-ahead run reaches once again for Olivet. Pusateri on for the first time today, and now it's McKenna Emerson, who's already got 2 hits in the game. She fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. Emerson singled in the second and again in the ninth, and she was the one way back in the second inning to reach third base. Still the only one. And obviously, nobody has scored. Playing our 4th extra inning. Ball outside, 1-1. 2 top pitchers of the conference, Morgan Derringer and Emily Carstens. We expected nothing less than a pitcher's duel, but this is more than I expected anyway. Nothing in the 11th. Ball inside, 2-1 on Emerson. Felicia Wakasey waits in the on-deck circle. Pusateri's at first. There's a swing and a fly ball, shallow left down the line. Long run for Gallison, and she's able to make the catch over the shoulder as she sprints towards foul territory. She was in fair ground as she made the grab. So if she had not been able to hang on, it would have been a hit for Emerson. It would have been a live ball, but as it is, nice grab by the shortstop Gallison. 2 down, Pusateri still at first. And Wakasey is the batter. She takes ball 1 low. Felicia Wakasey singled and stole a bag in the second. Since then, she has struck out, flown to center, and popped to third. 1-0 offering, swung on and wrapped on the ground to short. Gallison over to first base, and the inning is over. A 1-out hit by pitch is the extent of the Olivet offense in the 11th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. St. Francis nothing, Olivet Nazarene nothing. We're into the bottom of the 11th inning with no score between St. Francis and Olivet Nazarene. Emily Karsten's back out to face Paige Egan, Anna Wetherall, and Brooke Carricker. Egan is 0 for 2 with a couple of lineouts and a sacrifice bunt. She takes strike 1 to begin the inning. Karstens begins this frame having retired 13 consecutive batters. She misses high on Egan, 1-1. Saints' last base runner was Kayla Garcia, who doubled back in the 6th inning. Tapped foul. It's 1-2. Starting with Egan's sacrifice bunt back in the 5th inning. Karstens has retired 17 of 18 batters with that Garcia double. The only thing to break up that stretch. Ground ball to the left side, backhanded stop by the shortstop Davis. Quick throw to first is not in time. Paige Egan is aboard with the potential winning run. An infield single. And here's Anna Wetherell. Egan runs really well. Anytime you put a ball on the ground and it's not right at somebody, you're going to have a hard time getting her. And they were not able to get her right there as Wetherell stands in. Takes a ball high and off the glove of Sarah Beers. Heading down to second base is Egan. And she's in scoring position with nobody out. Wetherell was looking to bunt, it seemed, but the pitch was way high. Beers hopped out of her crouch, got her glove on the ball, but was not able to squeeze it and pull it in. And now Wetherell trying to advance Egan to third base. She drops down a bunt. It's a good one down the third base line and no play at either base. It's a bunt single for Anna Wetherell. And for the first time all game, the Saints have a pair of base runners on at the same time. And also, for the first time all game, they've got a runner at third. Bunt single for Anna Wetherell, and now Brooke Carricker has a chance to play hero. St. Francis trying to win a 1-0 game in the 11th inning. Brooke Carricker is 0 for 4 today. She doesn't necessarily need a hit right here to win the game. Ground ball up the middle and through. Base hit, Brooke Carricker. Paige Egan scores, and the Saints win 1-0. 3 straight batters reach base in the bottom of the 11th inning to deliver St. Francis their 6th consecutive victory. And after they had been shut down for 10 innings, they had gone 13 consecutive batters without anybody reaching base. They come up with back-to-back infield singles and a big base hit up the middle for Brooke Carricker to produce the game winner and give the Saints a thrilling 1-0 victory, and that was a big win for St. Francis, backing up their ace Morgan Derringer, who pitches her 15th complete game and 5th shutout of the season, but this is the first time she's ever had to go 11 innings to do it. 11 shutout frames for Derringer as she improves to 16-2 on the season, and a very tough luck loss for Emily Karstens. Karstens went 10+ frames. She only allowed 7 hits in the game, but she ends up taking the loss and falling to 12-2 on the year. Not a deserved loss for Emily Karstens, but one that will go on her stat sheet just the same. The only run of the game scored in the bottom of the 11th inning, an infield hit for Paige Egan. She advanced to second base on the first pitch to Anna Wetherell, who's trying to bunt her over. Pitch came in high and off the glove of Sarah Beers, allowing Egan to advance, and the ball didn't get too far away from Beers, but Egan runs well enough. She was able to take second easily. She moved up to third on Wetherell's bunt single, and then Brooke Carricker came up with the game winner, an RBI base hit up the middle, and really that was the first scoring chance the Saints had had in quite a while, and their first really good scoring chance all game. Olivet had a couple of others, but Derringer was able to pitch around him. Around runners at first and second, nobody out in the first, and in the same situation again in the 8th, and in both cases the heart of the order coming up, and Derringer was able to get out of them. So she came up with some huge strikeouts when she needed to and some huge outs when she needed to, and she comes up with the victory. But the job is not done for St. Francis today. Still one more game in our doubleheader to come. Saints beat Olivet 1-0. They improved to 22-6 on the season, 11-1 in conference. Olivet falls to 23-9, 10-1 in conference, and with one game still to go today. About a half hour from now, we'll have the start of Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Until then, I will sign off, and I'll be back with Game 2. Saints win the first one, 1-0 over Olivet Nazarene.